Hey, what's up guys? Jack and Matt here with the Toasty Bros, and today we got a sponsored video for you from our friends over at VRLA, and this is actually their new legacy PC that features an RTX 3050.
It also features a Ryzen 5 5600X, and they claim that this is one of the best value PCs on the market right now. But of course, here at the Toasty Bros, we're going to give you a good showcase of this PC, give you our thoughts, and talk more about VRLA as a company and what they do. Special thanks again to them for sponsoring this video and sending over this PC for us to take a look at. So let's just not waste any more time and dive right into it.
I'm ready to open it up. First, we gotta give a little flip-de-doo to the handles because we don't want the handles getting caught. That's the worst.
It is the worst. But yeah, this video again is brought to you by VRLA. They were nice to sponsor this this showcase of their PC build. And yeah, a little bit about VRLA. They're actually a company that was founded in 2016, and they mainly focused on high-end workstations for like VFX departments and other server-related stuff. But of course, like every market out there, you want to get into the PC gaming market, and they started making gaming PCs, and it comes from a company with a lot of experience working with these high-end companies. So yeah, you're getting a really awesome PC that hopefully is really good. We're gonna open it up and find out.
All right, so we got a power cable up top. They actually include like all the extra accessories, you know, RGB stuff, some zip ties. Looks like we got some 4-pin RGB. It's been a while since I've seen that. We got this little fun thing, Get Amplified.
Get Amplified.
I think it's for Zotac.
Yeah.
And then we have like the B450 instructions, which is always nice to have. You always gotta keep that extra stuff just in case, because you never know if you wanna do some modifications or you gotta do some troubleshooting. But let's go ahead and dump this bad boy out on the table.
And while he's opening that up, I'll read off the full specs that comes with this PC. It features the Ryzen 5 5600X, an RGB CPU cooler, a B450 motherboard, 16 gigs at 3200 megahertz DDR4, a 128 gig SSD, a 1TB hard drive, RTX 3050, 600 watt power supply, t-shirts, and Windows 11 with RGB fans.
Thank you guys for the shirt. All right, so it looks like this is the top. So
The other shirt's right there.
I'm already just, is there another shirt?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and get this out on the table. So I'm liking this case so far. It kind of reminds me of like a H510 sort of, but I'm assuming this is their own custom case. And it looks like we got a little bit of airflow in the front. We got some actual perforated holes, which is really nice. That's one thing that the H510 lacks a little bit, unless you get the flow version. But we got like a nice removable magnetic dust filter with some big ol' RGB fans up top. We got RGB fan in the back. We're just gonna go ahead and like do the outside stuff. So we're gonna remove this sticker. Use the video card ports. It's always a smart thing to have because you do have these ports here, but you don't use those. You gotta use these right here because we got a dedicated graphics card. But let's go ahead and I think we're ready to just get this packing out. PC setup instructions. Look at that. They give you a nice little QR code. Yeah.
That's nice.
All right. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way because I think we know what we're doing by now, hopefully.
Do we?
But we're gonna go ahead and get these thumb screws off. They do use the expanding packing. You definitely do not want to turn your PC on before taking this out because
cause some problems.
Strange things will happen. This is always scary. I always feel like I'm gonna like pull something I shouldn't at with it. It is in there.
Yank. And whoa!
We're out.
Look at that.
All right, we got a clean build here. So here's our RTX 3050. It's a Zotac variant, really nice looking. We have actually a Wraith cooler, a Wraith Max cooler. That's pretty cool. We have RGB XPG RAM. It looks like we have, I know Matt read the specs, 3200 megahertz DDR4. I'm assuming that's is it 16 gig kit or is it 32 total?
It's 16.
Okay, 16 gig kit. Lots of RGB fans. We got 3 up front, 3 in the top and back, so 6 RGB fans total, and they're actually VRLA. They have a lot of their own branding, which is really cool. And I think we got to open the back up real quick, see what we're working with.
Look at that cable cover.
Oh yeah, I forgot they have this cover. Yeah, it did say on the box, cable cover included. So that's pretty cool. I like this little like tray right here for that cable. I mean, that's really clean looking. There's not really been a reason to take that off, honestly. I mean, I can kind of peek back there and see all the cables that are zip tied as well. So props for cable management too. They did a good job on that. Looks like we do have an actual EVGA power supply. It's not modular or anything, so it's probably like one of the W series maybe, like 80 plus bronze if I had to guess. Could be gold though. I don't know if that was in the specs map.
Didn't say, just said 600 watt power supply. 600
watt, probably like the W 600 or whatever. But yeah, I mean overall though, build quality really good, better than most of the other companies that we've reviewed. Cable management wise, I'd say better than most of the other companies we reviewed. This is like on par with the type of cable management we usually strive for. Parts selection also really good. I mean, I don't really have any like major complaints. I mean, the only real thing I could say is like, I mean, this is a full ATX case. They used a micro ATX board, but like you also save a lot of money doing that. So I can't really hate on them for doing that. So
let's power it on. Let's see that RGB.
I think we're gonna see what it looks like, honestly.
Let's see that good old RGB.
Gotta make sure it powers on too. That's always it's always the fun test.
Make sure your PC powers on.
All right, we got the power switch turned on. Now we're gonna press the actual power button.
Boom. And we're set to white right now. There. Oh nope, there we go. Ooh, that RGB.
I think I wonder if we're on the motherboard for.
We might be. And
I think we are.
Yeah, RGB in there. There might be some software.
I think there's a hub because I'm noticing there's like 2 USB 2 ports, and I don't know why this case would have 2. Yeah, it doesn't have 2 separate. So I think all the RGB stuff's on a hub actually. So I like this. That's really cool.
Really sick. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a really good job on this build. Really good part selection, good looks. Didn't have to spend a lot of extra money on the looks in my eyes, so yeah, I'm really liking this.
So we're gonna go ahead and do, as always, install some games, talk about the benchmark numbers. We have benchmarked the 3050 on the channel. It's a pretty good card for the money, and yeah, just see how this thing performs in terms of the price.
Let's do it.
Alright guys, now that we have this VRLA Legacy PC all booted up and ready to go, let's talk about a couple benchmarks real quick. Now we decided this PC in a couple of titles, those being Apex Legends, Forza Horizon 5, Warzone, and Fortnite. First up in Apex Legends, a esports title that's a little bit more GPU dependent. On medium-high settings, we actually averaged 144 plus FPS. We've benchmarked the RTX 3050 numerous times here on the channel, and we've been very impressed with its performance in esports titles at 1080p medium-high settings, and Apex Legends is no exception. While yes, we are playing in the arenas lobby, I'd be willing to bet you will get a locked 144 FPS on medium-high across multiple game modes, whether it's the Battle Royale mode or arenas like we're doing here. Apex Legends more than playable, and the combination of the RTX 3050 and Ryzen 5 5600X work absolutely beautifully together, and I do commend VRLA for making this a really awesome pairing. Next up, in Forza Horizon 5 on high settings at 1080p, we end up getting an 85 FPS average. Forza Horizon 5 really pushes the GPU here, getting 100% usage, but getting an 85 FPS average on high settings is pretty impressive. You probably would get a 60 FPS average even at 1440p, which I think is a little bit underrated about the 3050. In esports titles and some higher end games on slightly lower settings, you can play 1440p 60 plus FPS if that's something you're into. Next up, in Warzone on medium low settings at 1080p, we average 60 plus FPS. Warzone is probably the most demanding game in this benchmark run, and getting at least 60 plus FPS will give you an awesome gaming experience. Running all low would probably get you into the 100 range, so you could take advantage of a high refresh rate monitor, but I do think Warzone is more than playable in this setup right now, and getting 60 plus FPS is pretty impressive. And the last game we decided to test was Fortnite at 1080p on epic view distance, everything else on low settings, which is the old pro settings, and we ended up getting 144 FPS average, but most of the time we were over 200. This is where the Ryzen 5 5600X starts to stretch its legs with its awesome IPC. In the esports title, no problem whatsoever with this system. I really do think the pairing of the 3050 and 5600X makes a whole lot of sense. You've got a lot of room to upgrade in the future if you want to slap in a better GPU, and right now you're going to get really good esports performance and have a pretty solid GPU like the 3050 to take advantage of those AAA titles. So I think VRLA has a really awesome PC here with the Legacy, and I really think you should consider picking it up by checking the link in the description down below. The benchmarks speak for themselves. How to bring Jackson back in here to wrap this video up real quick.
Alright guys, we just got done benchmarking this beautiful VRLA PC, and it performs probably about how you thought it would. You know, we've done some 3050 benchmarks with the 5600X, and it did really well. You know, it met up to the standards, and another cool thing about this is there is a small upgrade path. You know, you could go to a better RTX card down the road, or you could also upgrade the processor as well to really up to Ryzen 9 if you wanted to.
So big thanks again to VRLA for sponsoring this showcase of their Legacy PC. If you want to buy this PC or any other PC from their website, check the link in the description down below. And yeah, special thanks again to them, and hope you enjoyed the video.
So as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. And do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.
And in case you guys didn't know, besides their two YouTube channels, we also have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, OnlyFans.
But yeah, guys, we have a ton of social media platforms, and yeah, you should go follow all of them. See you guys later. Goodbye.